Let's get back to Wall Street for a moment. It's been an up and down day for the stock market as the reaction comes into all the cross currents that are out there, whether it's the slowdown in global growth, questions about what the Federal Reserve will do with interest rates, or even the big headline over the weekend from the Mueller report with the president being cleared of any conspiracy with the Russians. The former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida is with us today, Guy Lewis, and Charlie Gasparino's here also in studio. Okay, Guy, let me go to you first. There was actually some more news in the middle of everything else that was happening there when we were live with Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump, and that was Fox News confirming something that's very, very interesting with regard to the Mueller report. It turns out that 3 weeks ago, according to the reporting of Fox, the special counsel, Robert Mueller, told both the Attorney General, Bill Barr, and Rod Rosenstein that he would not be able to reach a conclusion on obstruction of justice. That was one of the things that was talked about a lot yesterday, that there was no conclusion reached. Well, it's been known now for apparently 3 weeks within the Department of Justice that that was going to be the case. What do you make of that?
A couple of things, Connell. One, the integrity of the process. I mean, think about this. This kind of news didn't leak. It wasn't out in the newspapers. That tells you how tightly the information was being held and how much integrity that both Attorney General Barr, Rosenstein, and Mueller have in terms of the back and forth. The second thing, quickly, is it tells you that there was a dialogue. They were talking about this, which is exactly what you want in terms of the prosecutor who's having to make the ultimate case, the ultimate decision on the case, which is General Barr, and the investigators, Bob Mueller and his team.
Charlie, you were saying?
It actually did leak. 3 weeks ago, I had my producer, Lydia Moynihan, call up Mueller's office because we understood from sources close to people inside the White House that the way we heard it, the report was delivered, and then Mueller was sitting on the findings. Okay? Now, they can deny that because the report physically wasn't delivered, but they clearly were sitting on the findings, and we called up Mueller's office, and Mueller's office, through someone at Fox, D.C., denied it. So just so you know, this stuff started to leak about 3 weeks ago.
But it wasn't reportable at the time.
Well, listen, when someone tells me I'm wrong, I need to be 100% sure they're lying to me. But it was leaking out. I mean, there's no doubt we got that tip. I got that from someone close to President Trump, that they knew something. They knew the gist of it.
Right.
Okay? I will say this. The bad news for Trump, obviously, is that there are many investigations going on. The Southern District of New York is looking at his business practices. The New York Attorney General, which has something known as the Martin Act, which is a very, very strong anti-corruption law. I mean, they can indict you for ham sandwiches looking at him. The New York Attorney General, Cy Vance, is a Democrat. The Southern District is nominally run by the White House, but it's not. It's a very independent thing. The good news is this.
Well, the good news is you were cleared on the conspiracy.
Now, in terms of those remaining investigations.
Okay.
Is that those charges are extremely difficult to bring. I am telling you, as someone who's covered a lot of white-collar crimes, the bar for intent on financial fraud is very high. And the other thing is the statute of limitations is going to be in play on a lot of this stuff. So if you combine that with what happened yesterday, which they found no collusion, they obviously didn't indict him for obstruction, no matter who phrased it. I mean, there's going to be a big battle over the semantics of this, like how Barr was able to say that he neither exonerated him or didn't charge. Remember, there was that one line: he wasn't exonerated on the obstruction.
But it was up to Barr, and Barr made the decision not to bring the charges.
They didn't bring the charges.
Right, which was up to Barr and to Rosenstein, Guy Lewis. So I mean, there's really no other take on this, I don't think, for today at least, other than this was a huge political win for the president. Any questions that you have going forward from this day, though?
Well, I agree in terms of it is a home run with the bases loaded. Having prosecuted cases, having defended cases, when you get notice, when you get the phone call from the prosecutor's office saying that we're closing out the case and there'll be no charges brought, how can you argue that it's anything other than a huge win?
Well, let me push back a little bit on that. They did not quite say that. First off, we should point out, and listen, I think it's a big win for the president, don't get me wrong. And I've never thought much of the collusion stuff. I mean, just on what they were bringing against Roger Stone. But remember what he said. He said he was not going to, Mueller's office operated that they were not going to indict a sitting president. But in this report, he did not exonerate him on the obstruction.
Well, Mueller didn't, but Barr, the decision was left to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General made that
who works
decision.
for Trump. But I'm just telling you,
but it was still up to him.
I know that, but my point is, the guy that's the most independent here is Mueller.
Right.
The most independent guy in this debate did not give him a home run on the obstruction.
Quick response, Guy, and then we got to get a commercial in. But go ahead.
With all due respect to Charlie, it wasn't just Barr. It was Barr. It was Rosenstein, who's been pummeled by the president for weeks and weeks. It was career professionals. It was people who've been in the who've been in the Department of Justice for years and years, who's looked at these kind of cases.
Why would Mueller say that?
I've yet to see the evidence.
But then why would Mueller say that? Why would he throw that out there?
Got to go, unfortunately.
Well, let me tell you.
It's got to be real quick because we spent so much time on the breaking news with the president. So let this be the last word, Guy.
I firmly believe that Mueller was doing exactly what an investigator should do, which is pass the evidence to the prosecutor and allow the prosecutor to make the decision, something that was not done.
He made it a statement.
Not done in the Hillary Clinton case.
He made a statement. He made a specific
He said he wasn't exonerated, and then the decision was left up to the Attorney General, essentially, and to the Deputy Attorney General. Anyway, Guy, thank you, and Charlie, thank you.